Hi there, and welcome back to Decoding Narcissism. In this video, we will be decoding a type of narcissist that has been known to get away with murder, literally. This narcissist is cunning, manipulative, and will attempt to get their victims more hooked than a cat in a fish farm. Before we dive in, just a bit of housekeeping. This is the third episode in a 10-part mini-series of videos breaking down 10 types of narcissists, their traits and behaviors, what makes them dangerous, how to spot each narcissist, and how to protect yourself and heal. The series is called Know Your Narcissist, and I have compiled a playlist where all episodes will be stacked up ready for you to enjoy or use as a point of reference in the future. So why am I sharing this video with you today? This is one of those topics that feels like a soft warning, because sometimes the people who do the most damage don't come at you with insults or threats. They come at you with flattery, charm, and false promises. They lay it on thick, so thick that it's impossible to not have that moment where you ask yourself, is this person for real? But sadly, maybe due to the need for feeling loved, wanted, important to someone, many choose to ignore that early warning sign, and the effect on their life can be disastrous. So let's avoid that path with the help of today's episode. Today, we're unpacking the seductive narcissist. What they really are, how they draw you in, how they keep you hooked, and most importantly, how you can break free before they drain you dry. So grab a drink, find a comfy spot, and let's do this together. Let's begin with what is a seductive narcissist. You've probably met the seductive narcissist at some point, though you might not have realized it right away. And most of you will have definitely seen one in a movie or two. Name drop in the comments if you can think of any. That would be a great case study to complement this episode. Unlike the bullies or the grandiose show-offs, the seductive narcissist lures you in with attention, validation, and a rush that can feel intoxicating. You suddenly feel seen, wanted, and rewarded. They might be the coworker who showers you with praise early on, then slowly demands your loyalty. Just a quick side note. I had this experience in a new job. Someone I didn't know showered me with compliments, assuming my life was successful in ways that I couldn't even imagine. And overall, this individual did her very best to befriend me immediately. I knew the signs, and I kept our relationship purely professional. It soon surfaced that she had been through similar scenarios with most employees, and once her need for control and their time and energy became too much to bear, she would discard them and attempt to damage their reputation in the workplace. Rejecting her invites, intrusions, and demands that we become friends, she eventually figured that I was just a plain Jane who must just live a boring life, returning home to her husband and kids each day. And that was fine by me. So knowing how to spot a seductive narcissist, even if it's not through romantic interest, can also save you a lot of turmoil, drama, being doxxed to others, and indebted to one of the worst of the narcissist types out there. For many victims out there, you might experience the partner who love bombs you, mirroring all your dreams, only to later use your secrets as weapons. This type isn't always romantic, but they thrive on creating a sense of specialness. They'll make you feel like the most important person in the world until you're not. In most cases, the seductive narcissist will prey on victims that have something they want, or it could simply be for the need to control others, to have power over you, your life, and the choices you make. Ever had someone who made you feel like you'd finally found your soulmate, your best friend, or your mentor, only to feel trapped later? Maybe you can relate. Now let's go a step deeper and look at how they think and operate. So what's really going on in their mind? The seductive narcissist's ego needs constant feeding. But unlike the bullying type, they don't feed off fear. They feed off your admiration and devotion. They watch you closely. They learn exactly what you want to hear, and then they become that. It's like they study you for weaknesses you didn't even know you had. When you're hooked, you start to need their validation. And once you're dependent on it, they can start shifting the power. One day they're your dream come true. The next day they're withholding, cold, or making you feel like you're the problem. Can you think of someone who made you question your reality like that? Maybe you've seen a friend go through it, or you have experienced this yourself. And in the age of social media, chat forums, and dating apps, these types are swarming the online space, waiting for their next victim to find them. That's if they don't find you first. Okay, so here's why they're dangerous. Now you might wonder, okay, but what's so dangerous about flattery and charm? The danger is in the slow erosion of your sense of self. When a seductive narcissist pulls you in, they create an addictive cycle. Highs and lows, reward and punishment. This is how trauma bonds form. You crave the good moments so much that you ignore the bad ones, and they know that. So they will use those as rewards rather than simply sharing positive experiences and creating memories. It's their currency, and the second it's offered, they'll have you cashing in your chips for that much needed return in no time. But all along, they'll test your loyalty, making you jump through hoops to earn back their warmth. They'll turn any doubts you have into guilt or make you feel like you're the broken one. And the cycle repeats. You'll be back to earning their warmth and attention. The longer you stay, the harder it gets to remember who you were before they rewrote your reality and sense of self. Ever felt that confusion? That sense you couldn't tell what was real anymore? You somehow feel detached from the life you had before, how you felt about yourself, people around you, your job, your future. If you have, you're not alone. But don't forget, this is the narcissist at work. But if you haven't, let's now learn how to get ahead and spot a seductive narcissist before it's too late. So how do you know when someone's just charming and when they're crossing into manipulation? Look for these signs. Firstly, being charming can be a passive gesture. We all know that, and we also know that a compliment demands nothing in return. But with a seductive narcissist, this first encounter can be a complete opposite to what you are used to or what is accepted as the norm. They love bomb early on. Big declarations, quick promises, intense emotional connection. This is very common in the we're just dating, but quickly moving towards the relationship phase. They will mirror you, your likes, your dislikes, your values, almost too perfectly. They isolate you subtly. Maybe they start hinting that your friends don't understand you the way they do. Even family members. They play hot and cold. Sometimes they're all in, other times they're distant and critical. This is all part of their conditioning for control, and they often make you feel like you need their approval to feel whole. Does that ring any bells for you? Maybe someone you dated, a boss you admired, or even a family member? Let's not forget, narcissists have little to no boundaries when it comes to what they will do to get full control of you and your life. So let's dive into how far they can go. The seductive narcissist's power lies in how deeply they can embed themselves into your sense of identity. They may not threaten you directly like the bullying type, but they can still destroy your confidence, isolate you from real support, or even manipulate you into betraying your own values. Sometimes they overlap with the covert narcissist, appearing vulnerable or victimized to keep you hooked with sympathy. And when you try to pull away, they might use guilt trips, emotional blackmail, or promises to change. It's subtle, but it's just as dangerous. So if you're hearing this and wondering, am I imagining it? You're probably not. And you should certainly take this as a red flag. Track this type of behavior because it could be all you need to make that choice to walk away and never look back. Don't ignore it because it's guaranteed to repeat, and if you let it slide, for the seductive narcissist, this is permission to lay it on even thicker next time. And you risk eventually giving into their game, which essentially invites them to have free rein over your emotions, state of mind, and life. If you are currently living it, experiencing aspects of life with a seductive narcissist, you might be wondering, can they be helped? Can they change? This is the hardest pill to swallow. And most importantly, separate yourself from them for a moment. Think back to who you were before you met them. Now ask yourself, are you asking this because you genuinely want them to change? Or is it because you have become so embedded in their manipulation that you are afraid to walk away and instead are focusing on changing them instead of changing your situation? I hate to break it to you, but as with most, if not all narcissists, you are not going to save them. What's important to understand here is that narcissists benefit more from being who they are, not what others want them to be. After all, for a narcissist, it's about control. If someone expects them to change or encourages change, for them, this is like having their favorite toy taken away. The pleasure and ownership is removed. They feel powerless. So can a seductive narcissist really change? Most don't. The qualities that make them so good at seduction, the charm, the mirroring, the adaptability, also make them experts at manipulating therapy, friends, or even you into giving endless second chances. If they benefit from keeping you hooked, why would they stop? So holding out hope that one day they'll wake up, apologize, and give you the love you always deserved, that hope can keep you trapped for years. Your power lies in seeing the pattern for what it is and making the tough but important choice. Do I remove this person from my life completely? That brings us on to the next segment in this episode, and the golden nugget: how to break free. So let's start with what's the secret to protecting yourself. 1. Be aware of your own vulnerabilities. What do you crave most? Validation, belonging, romance? Know your soft spots and work on these through therapy, self-study, and taking steps to make improvements in these areas in your life so that you can fill the gaps. This is beneficial because if you meet new people and a seductive narcissist shows up pouring on the compliments, love, validation, then you won't be in need as much, and because you have already done the work, you'll have all the self-love and self-awareness you need. 2. Take your time. If someone's moving too fast, emotionally, financially, or physically, see it as a red flag, not a fairy tale. This can be overbearing, and it's important to take notes of this. You don't owe them anything, so you don't need to accept what they are offering. Set boundaries instead. You might just see them cut and run. 3. Stay grounded in reality. Keep talking to trusted friends who can give you an outside perspective. Also consider journaling or keeping notes of things that might seem off to you. See if you discover a pattern. 4. Set firm boundaries. If you feel your sense of self slipping, step back. Take time to reflect and stay grounded in your reality, not theirs. 5. Seek support. Trauma bonds can be powerful, but they can be broken. Therapy can help you reclaim your sense of self-worth and rebuild your reality. And remember, you're not to blame for being seduced. You're human. They just used your best qualities, your openness, your hope, against you. Next up, healing and aftercare. Breaking away from a seductive narcissist is like breaking an addiction. You may feel the urge to reach out, to get closure, or to believe they'll be different this time. Be patient with yourself. Reconnect with what makes you feel grounded, your hobbies, your passions, your people. Therapy, journaling, and community can all help you rediscover who you were before they rewrote your story. You are so much more than what they tried to make you believe. And to end this episode, as always, let's have a look at what life looks like after. Picture this for a moment. You wake up one morning and you don't feel like you're performing for anyone. You don't feel that anxious rush wondering if today will be good or bad, warm or cold. You just feel free. You're allowed to trust your gut. You're allowed to enjoy real, genuine connection without wondering what's in it for them. Or like me, you might just enjoy stepping outside, taking that morning stroll, maybe stopping somewhere for a coffee and reflecting on your day ahead. And most importantly, you are living with the awareness that you get to protect that new sense of self for as long as you live. Wouldn't that feel amazing? Well, it's real, and you deserve it. And before I go away and work on the next episode, here's my question for you today. What's one way you plan to protect your energy this week without allowing someone else to own it for you? There's no right or wrong answer. Take your time, write it down, reflect on your progress when the week is through. And don't forget, you're stronger than you think, precious ones, and you've got this. Take care of yourself, protect your peace. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you in the next one.